This right here, what I'm about to break down, is why you have not been making the progress you want on NoFap and semen retention. And I'm going to give you the mindset shift that you need in order to break out of it. So let's dive into this, guys. Now, I've worked with a lot of men. I helped a lot of guys solve this issue with NoFap semen retention. And one of the biggest and the most important foundation when it comes to all of this is mindset. If your mindset is wrong, you're going to fail. If your mindset is not set up in the right way, you are going to have an experience that's going to put you in a negative state of mind, and you're going to give up. You're going to make a mistake. You're going to fall back into an old pattern. And really what it's about transcending the paradigm, right? You cannot solve a problem at the level at which it was created. You have to go to a new level in order to solve that problem, okay? And the problem that you're having is the fact that when you relapse, you're like, I failed. I failed. It's game over, you know? And that is the issue. That's what you're doing wrong. Because the reality of it is you haven't failed anything. If you're playing a game of football, right? You're in a football match, high-level football game. If the other team scores, does that mean you've lost? No, it doesn't. If you're in a boxing match, right, and you take a body shot and you fall to the ground, does that mean you've lost the fight? No, it doesn't necessarily mean you've lost the fight. In both circumstances, either one being you score 2 more goals or you get up and continue to fight, you have every reason to win and to get back into the game. And I think this is the biggest thing that guys mistaken, right? They've created this obsession and this fixation on the numbers. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 10 days, 20 days, 30 days, 3 months. And when they relapse, they've created this kind of construct in their mind to believe that they're back to zero if they failed. And what I want to tell you guys is this is completely wrong. This is a completely wrong way of viewing this whole process, right? And when you think like this, you make some progress, you start getting a streak, which is something I don't like, a word I don't really like using, and I don't really use because I think it's counterproductive, because it's keeping you in that state of consciousness that is of a belief system, and this is hard, that semen retention is hard, that NoFap is hard. It's not hard. It's easy. It's easy when you know the thing I'm explaining. But the point I'm making is when you relapse with this mindset, you start beating yourself up. You start feeling negative. You start thinking to yourself, damn, like, you know, I'm back to zero. And that demotivates you. And oftentimes when that happens, you then just relapse again and you relapse again and you relapse again and you just completely give up and you think, what's the point? But really what you have to realize is that's not a bad thing. Okay, relapse is going to happen, just like in anything, you know, even the best football players in the world don't score every single goal they take. What you have to understand is you're learning to master yourself. You're learning the skill of self-mastery, self-discipline. And there's going to be points where you slip up. Just the same way in the football game, if the other team scores, that's an issue. That's because part of your defense wasn't right. That's because you got sloppy, you got lazy, and you made a mistake that cost you. But what that means, in order for you to actually win, you just need to do double the work. You now have to score 2 goals rather than once. Yeah, of course. It's not ideal, of course. I'm not saying that a relapse is good. I'm not saying you should relapse. No, by no means. But if it happens and you genuinely tried everything you could to avoid it, you can't be annoyed at yourself. You can't be angry at yourself. And you have to kind of show yourself some kind of compassion, some kind of love, in the sense that, okay, there's a bigger picture to this whole thing. And that's what I'm going to break down for you right now, right? So when you're doing NoFap and semen retention, instead of looking at it like this game of how many days can I go, I feel like doing that is very similar to seeing how long you could hold your breath underwater. You're going underwater and you're counting, right, I did 2 minutes underwater. Like, okay, great. But the premise of that whole thing is eventually you're going to have to come up for air at some point. So when you're counting the days, there's this, I believe there's this subconscious belief that, yeah, you're going to eventually have to relapse, right? Whereas I say scrap that whole mentality, right? And what I like to apply is something called the mountain mentality, right? So you want to view this whole thing like a mountain. You want to view it like you're climbing the mountain and you're starting right at the bottom. And each day that you go up that mountain is a day completed of NoFap, semen retention, right? And at the top of the mountain is your the ultimate goal of giving this up for good, being completely porn free, being completely masturbation free, being on semen retention, and being effortless. That is the ultimate goal you're striving for, and that's what you're going to put at the top of this mountain. And every single day you're working towards getting to this goal, right? Now, as you're climbing this mountain, Imagine you see a relapse, right? A relapse is the equivalent to you stumbling, falling, tripping over some kind of rock on the way up to this mountain. Now you have to ask yourself the question: if you were climbing a mountain and you fell on a rock, does that mean that you fall to the bottom of the mountain and it all starts over? No, it doesn't. And this is the mindset and mentality you need to start adopting. Is that okay? I made a mistake. Okay, all it's done is it slowed me down from getting to my end goal, and you just pick yourself back up and you keep moving forward, and that is it. And when you apply this mentality, it makes this whole process so much easier. You stop beating yourself up. You stop hating yourself. You're thinking, I'm failing. You don't have this like really difficult kind of goal that you're trying to overcome of like, I need to get back to the 30 days. No. You're just focusing on the ultimate goal of changing your self-image, changing your personality, changing your identity to be this guy who just doesn't watch porn, who just doesn't masturbate, right? Rather than being fixated on these numbers and just trying to beat your last best score. No. You're looking at the bigger picture, and you see that every single day is just a piece towards that future goal and that future destination that you're trying to accomplish. And when you apply this mentality, when you relapse, you don't feel negative about it, right? Yes, you take the information. Yes, you go, okay, I made a mistake, right? How am I going to, what went wrong? What can I do to recover this? But inevitably, overall, you're like, well, I'm still on course. I'm still on course to getting to where I'm trying to go. Just because I got knocked down, or just because the other team conceded a goal, or just because I relapsed, doesn't necessarily mean it's game over. It doesn't necessarily mean I'm back to the start. So this is the secret, guys. This is something I teach my clients. This is what I push. And I really enforce this mentality, right? Because you really have to have a level of self-love. You really have to have some form of compassion for yourself and understand that, man, this is hard. This isn't easy, right? Why do you think Nofap gets so many clicks? Why do you think it's so popular? Why do you think it's such a trend? Well, it's because it's hard and it's worth, and nothing worth having is easy, right? So take this on board, picture this mindset, apply it. And what you're going to find is that you take the pressure off yourself, you take the kind of intensity off yourself, and you stop counting. Because really what you have to do is you have to act in accordance with the person you're trying to become, right? Do you count how many times you brush your teeth every single day? And I'm assuming you brush your teeth every day, but do you count how many times you do it? No. Why? Because you're just a person who brushes their teeth. So when you're constantly counting the days of nofap, you're telling your subconscious, I am not someone who just does this. This isn't my norm. This is outside the norm. What you need to do is you need to act in accordance with the person you want to be. Act and you will become, right? So you want to act as if I've already completed it. That's how you want to start thinking, in this type of way. Or at least that's your ultimate goal, is to get to a point where it's just who you are normally. So how would that person act? Well, they wouldn't count the days, would they? They would just go about their day. They would just focus on their purpose, focus on the things they're doing. They wouldn't be fixating on the numbers, right? That's not in alignment with what that person would do. And when you apply this mentality, you do this over, and I'm not saying this is an instant fix like that. This is something you need to apply over the course of a month, 2 months, 3 months to really see the results. As I said, thinking of it as that mountain and you're climbing up, and each day you do this, you do nofap semen retention, you're like one step up the mountain. So guys, if you found this video useful, if you found the insights I just shared powerful, and you're interested in understanding more on the mindset principles and how to actually overcome nofap and semen retention, this was just a little piece of the information and the knowledge that I have inside my Skool community that I have linked in the description. Within that, you've got a course with 3 modules that take you through the 3 steps of mindset, purpose, and the skills necessary in order to master semen retention. It's the same stuff I show my clients and I give to my clients to watch. Currently, it's only at $8 per month to have access to the community. As I'm building it out, the price will increase. But if you join now, you will lock in that price of $8. If you choose to stay in the community, if you choose to leave, you can simply cancel. But I highly recommend, if you've watched this video and you found some value in what I've just explained and maybe some previous videos, I think if you join the course and the community inside, I think you would be greatly happy with the level of detail of the content inside it, and the concepts of how to overcome this. These are unique concepts. They're not really spoken about in the community, and they're things that are going to give you an edge in this process that you're not really going to find anywhere else. So if you are interested in that, just go into the description, click on the link and join the community. If you have any questions or anything you want to ask, go ahead and drop me a comment. If you enjoyed this video and you found some value in it, go ahead and drop a like on the video. And if you just want to drop a comment, please let me know what you thought and what videos you'd want me to make in the future. Guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great day. Peace.